You join me today in Nessebar, Bulgaria. This ancient town is more than 3,000 years old and it's rich of history and tourism. It's roughly 25 kilometers away from Burgas, a big airport, so it's very easy and accessible, and there's lots to do. It has been occupied by many civilizations and has so much history, it's quite phenomenal. At the minute, there is roughly 27,000 people living here year long, a big population, and the area is separated into two places, the old town and the new town. They're separated by a big bridge and kind of a walkway through the sea, and it's quite cool. So let me take you around this area and let's check it out. This town was originally a Thracian settlement. Then, in the 6th century, it became a Greek colony. And moving on to times, it was colonized and owned by different people. In the Middle Ages, it became the most important Byzantine town on the west coast of the Black Sea. This 3D plan gives a bit of an idea. We came in here. That's the little walkway with the road and the windmill. Now we're here. This is where the wall begins, and that's where the town is. As you can see all around me, there is 19th century architecture. This is represented by the wooden houses, shops, buildings. And it's very, very typical for the architecture of the era in the Black Sea region. It's really nice to see. However, a lot of this has been ruined, and I'll go into that in a bit more detail in a few minutes. But it's good to see that there is still some original things here. So Bulgaria and this city of Nessebar is both proud of its history as well as really ambitious and certain on preserving it. One of the main things is the churches. They're super crucial to this part. There's many of them from different centuries. Right behind me you have the Church of St. John the Baptist. That was my mistake. This is actually St. John Aliturgetus Church. Yeah, something like that. This was erected in the 14th century, has been protected over time by many different organizations. Nessebar Old Town has a lot of small streets. These are all pretty much cobblestone based with no car access. It's deliveries early in the morning, late at night, or just pedestrians. So it's really nice. Along these streets you find cafes, restaurants, as well as boutiques. Shops that sell you jewellery, as well as just unique arts and crafts. It's quite nice. One bad side of this is the sellers. You have a lot of sellers who have things on their hands, arms, and just try and haggle you, try and get you into their store. It's kind of tiring, but it's understandable.
Ми teraz spróbujemy półwytrawne, ale nie kwaśne wino, bo beczka dębowa z winogonu 6 miesięcy leżakowała na słońcu. Szła fermentacja, sparowała woda i zostawał się tylko soczek winogronowy. Temu będę delikatny, cierpkie, delikatny.
Here in Nessebar, we're at Nessebar, which is a winery and a wine tasting shop. And it's wonderful. My parents absolutely love this. The choice of wine is huge. They don't have spirituous or high percentage alcohol added. It's all very sweet and natural. It's a really cool place. I don't drink myself, but everybody that tried it from my family loved it. So I can't recommend it enough. And the prices are pretty reasonable. You have different things from fig wine, regular grape, then you have pomegranate, raspberry, as well as other things. A favourite of my family was almond wine, which had a bit of honey in it because almonds are naturally bitter. It's quite unique. In 1986, there were some violations of these historical buildings in Nessebar. These violated the cultural history laws and people were not happy. These buildings were meant to be under protection. If they're changed, it's kind of against the rules. You see, Nessebar has a lot of protection from different organizations. In 1956, it was declared a heritage town and a site of archaeological and architectural protection. And then in 1983, it attained its status on the World Heritage List. So nowadays, it's very oversought and seen, especially with the modern technology, to make sure that no more violations are done and that Nessebar can remain at its state for many generations to come. One fun fact about Nessebar is that it's one of the earliest places in the entire world to produce coins. Both silver and bronze coins were produced in the 5th century. The gold coins, they were produced from the 3rd century. This is so pioneering, so early on, and you can really see how important of a town it was to the Black Sea. It brought these coins to ease trade and made trading a lot better, as well as bartering. It's a wonderful place and the history is so rich. One of the main attractions in Nessebar is the Church of Saint Sophia. You see it's right behind me. It was built between the 5th and 6th century and it's a huge presence. It's mainly a ruin now, but you can visit and see it, and the fact that it still withstood all that time is a testament of the building skills. It's very old and it's very beautiful and it's protected hugely. It's one of the reasons why the churches are so important here. This is the beginning, the big one. The Church of Saint Sophia is one of the reasons why so many other churches are still preserved to this day. Because churches are very important to Nessebar, and the fact that it's still here is a testament to that. So this concludes my time in Nessebar. I hope that you've picked up some tips and have learned a bit of history. It's a wonderful place for a day trip or half a day, and if you're ever in the area, don't pass it by. It's quite nice, and if the weather is good, it gets even better.